So unless you're young, live in Alabama, or reside in a predominantly Muslim neighborhood, you may not be aware that being gay or lesbian is just one of those things that people are now, like football fans or woodworkers, and that is a very recent development. The former because you may well be too young to remember this being any other way, and the latter because this kind of acceptance just hasn't quite reached the mosques and the boondocks yet. 10 years ago, though, people still widely despised homosexuals. And 20 years ago, unless you were living in one of those super progressive cities on either coast, you were essentially a social outcast. As shifts in the collective mindset of society go, the acceptance of gays and lesbians happened fairly quickly, if a little late. The rest of the Western world was okay with the big gay many years ago, though to our shame, Germany only managed to legalize gay marriage last year, and the only reason for that was because it was an excellent cover to pass a censorship bill while everyone was out celebrating. But I still remember videos on YouTube of The Amazing Atheist addressing prominent homophobes that were preaching their bollocks on US mainstream media. Those were the days. You remember how every time you were looking at YouTube in the past, the design always looked modern, up to date, possibly even futuristic? But if you look back at those designs now, you go, oh Jesus Christ, that's so antiquated. Imagine what's going to happen in 10 years when you look at what you're looking at today, which you consider normal at this time. So back then, in the times where homosexuality was still widely discussed, instead of being discussed in the most ridiculed recesses of the internet as it is today, a question was very prominent in the debate. And I always thought that that question just was not productive at all and didn't make any sense whatsoever. And that question was, is homosexuality a choice? And the obvious and also correct answer to that is no, of course not. I didn't choose to be into women, I just woke up one day as a little boy and found out that I was into little girls. I have tried to be gay. It didn't work. I chose to be gay very definitively, and it hasn't worked for even a second. Given the choice to be gay, I would probably just choose to be bi, because obviously that maximizes your options, and I'm all about maximizing those options at all time. But it's never a choice I have been given, and it's never a choice I will be given, because it's just not a choice that someone makes. I just don't like dick. They don't appeal to me. They repel me. I can't choose otherwise. And if at any point in your life you did have the choice of either being into men or being into women, that's not the default thing that happens to most people. You're just bisexual. That's how you got to make that choice. And you could change your mind at any time, and you didn't make the choice to be bisexual in the first place. Not a lot of people are bisexual. Your life experience is not representative of the average person in society. But here's my question. Why does it even matter if being gay is a choice or not? Why is that important at all? Let's just go into a fictional world where being gay is a choice. And then someone decides to be gay. And then they are gay now. What now? The other person being gay still does not affect your life at all. It literally does not make a difference in the behavior of gays if they chose to be gay versus if they were just born that way. There's no difference. I just don't see how if being gay was a choice, that would make being gay less legitimate. Why would I care about the gender of who other people date? I do care who my friends date, because I love my friends and I don't want them to end up with an abusive psychopath, but being an abusive psychopath isn't limited to one specific set of toilet parts, so really that's not a relevant factor. In my vulnerable formative years, I had to delve deep into the mind of these homophobes to understand the position, and it seems as though the reason that they think like this is because that way, even though they've been taught all their lives that being gay is the bad, they can justify still loving gays because it's not their fault that there's something wrong with them. Because in their mind, being gay is just something bad, but if you're not responsible for it, you can hardly be blamed for it. And I can understand why people think like this in some capacity, but I don't see why I should reach out to someone who just hasn't finished their own mental gymnastics for rationalizing what they feel deep inside and what they have been told by their congregation at church. Because being gay is not legitimate because it's not a choice and you were born that way. It's legitimate because it just is. Being a fan of Manchester United is legitimate because it just is. Being an avid wine drinker and expert on that particular subject matter is legitimate because it just is. Enjoying science fiction novels is legitimate because it just is. It doesn't matter why something is the way it is, it matters that it doesn't hurt anyone else. And sure, if you're a gay man, your anus might get hurt, but it's your anus and it's your choice to make. I'm not gonna tell you what you can and cannot do. And if you're one of those stupid cunts who believes that the bigger the gay, the bigger the hurricane, just fuck off. I'm not gonna entertain your ass backwards worldview to justify something to you that requires no justification. You're just wrong, and that's the end of that discussion. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do all the things that you would do with the video. This is just something that I had it floating in my mind for a long time, and I just needed to get it out quickly and painlessly and put it up here on the channel. Consider supporting me on Patreon for really cool rewards on especially my Discord server, where one of my fans has now become a ninja. Also join that Discord server because it's very good. Follow me on Twitter. Have a fantastic day. I appreciate all of you, and see you around, cunts.